Hey, what's going on, guys? This is another video from me, and regarding so basically, the goal of this YouTube video is to show you guys how we can properly and basically increase the performance of our website and add a well, we want to add in this YouTube video. I'm going to teach you guys how we can properly add a loader and make sure that images are loaded and your content is loaded on your website after basically after it is rendered. And so to me, this might be a daunting task, and it is a daunting task. I've actually gone through this process just recently today, and I had no experience going through this process. And so today I'm going to show you guys how to actually go through the process. And well, I'm going to show you guys how I did it and what I learned throughout the process, what's the flow of ideas that I approached this with, and how I came to my conclusion. And so many times, I don't want to go and ramble off. I know you guys want to approach this problem as soon as possible, so you can just skip this if you don't like it, if you don't think it's productive. But I think it is. I think you guys should understand that basically my approach to these YouTube videos are basically we want to keep the flow of ideas. If we don't have the flow of ideas, guys, then what's going to happen is if you're not connected to the stream, if you're not connected to the flow of ideas when you're approaching a problem, what's going to happen is you're going to get an issue, and then you're going to spend like 5 hours on Stack Overflow, and then 10 hours on maybe on another topic, and you're going to waste so much time, and you might potentially just quit. Or if you don't quit, you're going to waste a lot of time. I may be wrong, but I've noticed that in my case, I had that situation. So I had a situation where I would grab something from ChatGPT, and many people think you can code and you can just grab the code and just paste it in. But the issue with that is that as soon as you paste it in, you get an error. And then what? Well, you start asking ChatGPT, fix this. ChatGPT, fix this. Then what? Well, then it doesn't do anything. It gives you more errors, and then you go down the rabbit hole and you don't know what to do. So today I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to show you guys the thought process I approached this problem with. So I'm going to show you what I built. So this is a website I built. I'm going to go ahead and do an npm start. And yes, let me show you guys. Okay. All right, beautiful. This is a website. It's actually hosted on live. So this is loader, guys. If you guys want to know how to do that, let me know below. While this image is loading, it's doing that. So what happens is if I go to home page, this works. If I go to about page, works. But if I go to our process, you guys will see something really cool. So you see that loader right there? It was just loading. So I can actually go to the actual website. So if you guys want, you can even check this out on your own. So you can check out the loader. See, it loads automatically really fast, so it doesn't need to. But basically, that's why I implemented, and it took me quite a bit. But what would happen is I can actually show you guys the issue. But it's going to take too much time. I don't want to waste your guys' time. So basically, I built that. We're going to build something like that. And we have another problem, guys, specifically with our portfolio. So you guys see how it takes super long. Sometimes when I load this portfolio, you guys see that this thing is at the very top right. You guys see that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement the same functionality. So what I did, before we actually start, guys, this is a really crucial part for you to understand. So I actually recorded like a very long video, like a 4-hour long video, so I can't obviously post that. But if you guys ever want me to do like an hour-long video, let me know. I'm thinking of doing that, and I really want to do it. But basically, focus on this. So this is like a stream. Imagine a stream of water, guys. So water. Stream of water. Right? It's a stream of water. Or we can say a river. And this is what it is, guys. It's a river. And rivers branch out into many river branch tree. I'm pretty sure something. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's such a tree. Whatever. River, multiple, many rivers, whatever. Shouldn't be shows. Anyways, yes, okay, beautiful. So you guys will see this picture right here on the right side of my screen. If I move this. So this is basically how programming is sometimes. And well, this is how anything is in your life. Some things are more simple, some things are not. And so what happens is we have a issue right here. Basically, well, where we want to load this, we have an issue that we want to load this screen, right? And specifically, I had this problem here that this would all stack on each other. It looked so ugly. And what I decided to do, and the original person would say, hey, let's just grab, let's just ask ChatGPT, hey, I have a situation, so what many people are going to say, they're going to grab all of this, copy it, and then just paste it in ChatGPT. What's going to happen is, see my cursor, this is the river, and you're just pasting it in like, ChatGPT might tell you the right direction, but you might just go right here. And then what happens, you face an issue. Then you're along the river. Where are you going to go? You're going to turn right or left? How do you know how to debug this issue? And so the safe way, guys, is to always start from the beginning. If you start from the beginning, you can know where to go. You'll know the stream of what you're looking for. And so that's what I did. So these lines right here, if you guys can see, these are lines. Oh, no crap, it's lines. These lines will tell you basically what exactly. Basically, this is one stream. So like A's, let's say this is A, this is B, C, D, right? Whatever. And I started asking questions. So whatever I thought, the issue related to was, I thought it was should component update, right? So I said, hey, so should component update is triggered before component didn't update. What is a common use case of should component update? Because, I thought, well, actually, before I even reach that conclusion, I can even show you guys. It's going to be so much. But whatever, I'll show you guys. On ChatGPT, if I go all the way up, this is my whole thought process. And, not this one. Yeah, it's going to take a while. Anyways, I'm not going to load it for you guys. But you guys get the point. Maybe not. But I decided, okay, I'm gonna ask a question what I think is related to. So should component update is triggered before component did update? What is a common use case? And I think I just asked it a basic question, like, hey, how does loading and rendering work in React? That's it. That's all I asked. And it gave me a list. When I was reading that list, I began just looking over the questions. No, I began, I gave myself a task that, okay, when ChatGPT would give me some information, I would force myself to use four different types of, I would force myself to ask four different types of questions. And these are basically the four questions you guys can see how to ask. And after I asked four different questions about that paragraph, I would pick the paragraph that I think goes in the right direction. So in this case, I chose B. Because I'm like, hey, what is the difference between rendering a component and loading a component? I'm like, that's interesting. Maybe that's going to lead me towards let's say the destination is right here. The left direction. So I'm like, oh, okay, I think I'm going to lean more in left direction. And so this question, I asked it, okay, elaborate on this. Then I asked four questions on that. And so, then I picked the letter BB. So I would always say, hey, okay, I picked B here. Now there's another B here. So I picked B. When exactly is a component mount lifecycle method triggered, etc., etc. Because I thought that, okay, there's something to do with component did mount. Because when the component mounts, right? When the component mounts, I want to somehow basically behind the scenes do something, because what's happening is my images are mounting that section that I showed you guys right here. This part is all mounting. When it's mounting, I want to quickly grab it. So I'm like, okay, this probably has something to do with it. And then I also was curious, okay, what if 80% of the component is rendered into the UI, but 20% is still rendering? Because, you guys will notice, excuse me. So you see, everything renders, but you guys will notice that sometimes, the image would be like halfway rendered. So I asked that question. Then this led me to another conclusion, BB, and then I picked, okay, then I said, hey, what is a use layout effect? Because apparently I figured out something called use layout effect, which is actually even before use effect. Use effect is actually called after use layout. So use effect is called after everything is mounted. And use layout effect is actually called before everything is not mounted. So I'm like, okay, I need to access something before it's not mounted. And then along the way, I realized I picked D, which was use effect is only triggered when screen is painted already, and use layout is triggered, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, so when a screen is painted, then I said, Then I got to the conclusion that after iterations of questioning, I'm like, okay, I found something called intersection observer, right? This was a really interesting observation, no pun intended. After I realized that we have intersection observer, I then moved on to another conclusion, which was, okay, so we have intersection observer. So I went to, I picked C, obviously. And then you guys can see that I picked H here, which was actually this last question. How can we make sure that the intersection observer of the parent element works dependently on the children elements being visible? So then I realized there's something called intersection observer. And intersection observer actually comes from, it allows us to observe certain elements, correct? It allows us to observe elements. And, the question was, I started asking, okay, what does it mean if you observe an element? What does that mean? What does observing an element mean? How do you know if an element's being observed? Observed in what? What's it? We had things like intersection ratio, etc. And then I picked E here in this questioning. You guys can see here. What is the intersection observer root element? Because I figured out there's actually an element within intersection observer where our intersection observer, which is basically the element that we're trying to look for to see if it's rendered, quote unquote, we're seeing if it's intersecting with the root component, meaning it actually loaded in. And so after that, we went to, I had another idea, so this is now D. If threshold is set to 1, fully visible, and the intersection observer is large. So basically I was wondering, okay, but what if the image is still loading, right? So then I realized that basically intersection observer doesn't really care about, it doesn't care about if intersection observer, it has a threshold. A threshold is basically, there's a certain ratio. So I know you guys don't really understand what I'm talking about, but because, of course, you guys don't know the flow of ideas. So I'm trying to show you guys where the flow is. Because if I just come to you guys and start talking about intersection observer, you guys aren't going to understand, okay? And you guys may not understand now, but it's better than what you would get from another person YouTube channel, which just gives you a solution on code. And then what we have here, so you guys can even pause the video and look at these questions. I'm just speeding up for time's sake. And then we have BBBDDCHED. This is the second to last river. We picked D, right? This one. Then we picked E on this one. If the intersection observer element is a wrapper that contains children, however, the children have not yet loaded, doesn't this mean that the intersection observer is partially visible? So I begin questioning, hey, ChatGPT give me some contradictions, and ChatGPT will give you some contradictions sometime. And we can say, how might we make now the last question is quite interesting. Now the question was, how might we make the visibility of the parent depend on the children? This is the last question I asked, and boom, I got it right after I asked ChatGPT, and you guys will notice that. So that's just only going to get some foundation. So obviously I can't explain everything in this video. That's a long process. That video took me like 4 hours, so I had to delete it and just minimize this to like 20 minutes. I'm trying to make this in 20 minutes. So yes, so let's go ahead and actually go to the process, guys. So also I want to, let's just go to the process. Foundation, you can see, is really crucial for me. So we need to implement this for portfolio. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to come to my process, our portfolio. So for those of you who just skipped the video and went to this section, sucks to suck, you guys might have an issue with this later, or you get an issue, so have fun. Portfolio, okay, beautiful. Portfolio.module. And so what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to go ahead and go to our process. And so we have a part that says is section rendered. We're going to copy so we're going to copy, I think, these guys right here. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and bring them up here. Actually, no, we're going to bring them a little bit lower. Okay, beautiful. I know that's not a state, whatever. Okay, so then we have a use effect. Let's see. This seems like this is the one right here, so. Okay. Shit. I thought I had something here. Didn't I have a scroll up method? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had a scroll up method. 1 second, guys. Wait, no, I don't need it. Okay, let me just go ahead and grab the scroll up method because it needs to have a scroll up method. Sorry, guys. Some other issue I had to deal with. Okay. Beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this right here. Go to portfolio. And let's see. Yes, I don't think there should be any errors. Of course, those ones. I gotta always import these guys, right? Use. Wait, I have to use effect. Oh, use state. Ah, why can't I spell state? Use state and use ref. Beautiful. What's the issue? Use state is not defined. What are you talking about? Use state is defined. Okay. Now you go to processes, and so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna say. So we're gonna come here. We're gonna say section. We have a reference here, and so we want to put a reference on the section that we're trying to actually close off. Right. So let's go ahead and grab this reference, and I think it's an ID. We don't even use this ID. Yeah, we don't even use it, so we don't need it. Okay, get this reference section ref. We're gonna put it on the area that needs to be kept in check. So the whole container, basically. Okay, so we're gonna go grab that whole container. Then we want to put in some functionality like this guy right here. So we're going to need to import the ring loader, which will be right here. So this ring loader, you got to install this dependency. Where's the ring loader? React spinners. So, okay, go and grab that. Beautiful. Okay, so we got that ring loader. So it's loading in right now. Beautiful, as we want. And then what I will do is I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we got this functionality right. So we have section rendered. So that we also, what we want to do, guys, is we want to put in these classes right here. And we're going to have to make them. So let's come to the classes ring. Okay. No. Sorry. We actually got to come here. Excuse me. Okay. Cool beans. We got is section rendered. So we're going to go ahead and get those classes because we're going to forget. You're going to be wondering why it's not working for 3 hours. So let's go to process, get these guys. And also make sure you put them at the very bottom because you don't want overlapping styles. I've had that for a little bit and I was wondering where I screwed up. Cool beans. Because, okay, so we got that working. Then we have portfolio. So you'll see that currently it's is section rendered is actually still false. So it's automatically set to false, and because we didn't even do this yet. So next thing is we have to do is we need to actually set the, where is it at? We're gonna actually excuse me guys, I had some. Okay, so we're actually going to come to the, what do we ask? Okay, query selector all. Got the section element, and then we got the, did we do that here? I don't think we're doing the query selector. Oh, we are doing it. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, we're doing a query selector. Okay, what's going on here? It should load now. Sorry, guys. Okay. What we'll do, guys, is I'm going to not do a flex box here. So let's go to our process. This is actually going to be, I think it's a block. Oh, no, it's a grid, right? I think so. It's a grid. What is it? Okay, where's that container? Where is it at? Steps. No. It's this guy right here. Container. Where is it? What is it? Container. Oh my goodness. See, you can get so confused with these styles. Okay, container. Container is a display of grid. Okay, now we want to come here and make sure we don't screw this guy up. Flex. And then we want to make sure that we can come down here and say, hey, you're actually a grid. You're not a flex box. Beautiful. So we can now load this in. and you guys will see that we got nothing. Interesting. What the hell? So for some reason, when we load this page in, you see for some reason it scrolls, it goes away, and yeah. So that's expectable. It's unbelievably difficult to actually position. How do we position in the center here? Okay, let's go to our processes. It's good enough. Okay, it's good enough. Yeah, that's perfect. So we're gonna. So the problem is I have to scroll, guys. So you guys most likely have to face this issue where that when you load it in, you guys have to scroll. So hold on 1 second. When you load it in, you have to scroll down to scroll in. So we want to fix that. Let's go ahead and fix it. So let's see here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paste this in here. So we can use React for this. So I have an issue that I have to scroll down for my images to load in. For my projects, load in. For my images to render. However, I would like to render automatically and as soon as possible. How to do it? Okay. Oh, that makes sense, guys. With the viewport. So we can say how to scroll down to the images. That may be an issue. So what we can do is we can say how to scroll to the center when I get to that page. So we're going to scroll to top. Smooth is false. So basically, if I come here and I start at this one, we go to our process. Sorry, we start at the top and then we say how to scroll to the middle of the page when I get to that page. Okay. Scroll to method. Beautiful. And then we can go ahead and say scroll to the specific position. Right. Yeah. So let's go ahead and roll maybe another one. We're going to do another use effect. I think that can be the issue. We're going to go ahead and scroll to the center. Right. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go ahead and we should be able to scroll to the center. It's not scrolling to the center. Okay. Yeah, we need to set a timeout. It's pretty smart. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and set a timeout. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Beautiful. So we're gonna set a timeout to maybe like three. So we get to this page. So we can set a timer to like 1 second. So you see, guys, that's how we do it. Look how beautiful it looks. You get to the page, scrolls down. So then we gotta, so we can actually fix that here, guys. Beautiful. So okay, there we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll probably edit this a lot because I have to edit it. But yeah, anyways, guys, basically what I wanted to show you guys in the beginning of this YouTube video was that, first of all, yes, you have to, so you'll be required, if you want to learn this stuff faster, and the way I became so good at using this, what was it? Well, this intersection observer, I just learned this today, but I've learned this through, what I explained earlier. And so what you want to do is you want to see the flow of ideas, and you want to use the element of earth in this book. This is by Edward Berger. And this book basically explains that if you want to learn something, you have to have a strong foundation, which is earth, and you have to use the element of fire, which is fail quickly. You have to raise questions, which is air, and you have to basically follow the flow of ideas, which is water. So yeah, do that. And so basically, that's what this YouTube video and this YouTube channel does. Is it shows people how to properly approach these situations, approach these problems. And I'm not going to give you, it's just, I'm going to give you an answer, right? You can skip to that, but you're not going to benefit much from it, because what happens when you have to deal with another issue on another website and you don't know how to deal with it? You don't know the flow of ideas, or you're going to get ChatGPT, you're going to copy that code, and you're going to paste it in, and then you're going to fail because you don't know what to do next, like that water analogy I showed you guys. So yeah. So anyways, let me know if you guys like this video or if you hate this video, because feedback is important for me to learn how to make better content. So anyways, later.